Altcoins are back on the move this week in the market, and I'm going to go over exactly why. There is a single coin out there that to me just screams it is easily the most undervalued token in all of crypto, and it's in the hottest narrative in real world business that we have seen unfold maybe this entire decade. So I'm going to go over exactly in this video why I truly believe that Bittensor's TAO token is the absolute most undervalued token in all of crypto. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. And before we get started, as always, guys, be sure to drop down below, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel for more every single week here on In the Game. We have you covered top to bottom, everything you need to win in the crypto markets. And of course, a big shout out to our sponsors down below in the description. If you need somewhere to trade, check out Blofin in the description down below. They are doing a massive trading competition, and I'll actually talk about that here later in the video if you do want to get started on Blofin. And look, on January 7th, I did this video here. Bittensor explained why TAO is the most undervalued altcoin in crypto. Right now, this is aging pretty well over the course of the last week and even over the yearly time frame. A lot of altcoins are not in the green on the yearly. You can see this is up 114% on the yearly time frame. But this week, Bittensor has been an absolute monster. We've seen Hyperliquid moving nicely, and now we're seeing Bittensor TAO move nicely, up 47% this week. But really, this is just scratching the surface and really just reclaiming previous levels. I'm going to go over exactly why I just think that this is the biggest no-brainer when it comes to portfolio exposure. I think right now is the best time to be looking into AI tokens, because if we continue to see Bitcoin, which Bitcoin is up 7.8% as of recording this video, if we continue to see Bitcoin rally, you're going to see top narrative coins like Bittensor TAO in the AI sector start to move. And look, as you can see here, AI is running. The AI sector is absolutely crushing other altcoin sectors at this point in time. So it's not just me. You know, this is definitely a movement that I think is going to pick up. If we start moving back towards 80K, 90K, then I definitely believe that AI coins are going to be front and center, because look, everyone on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, they're talking about Claude. They're talking about OpenClaw. AI is just absolutely eating everything. It's taking over. And if you're not utilizing AI in your daily workflows, you probably should start to learn, because I do feel like people who master AI are going to be way ahead of the game in the coming years. But we're seeing this unfold in crypto now. And I want to really go into this, because I think that the one thing that people misunderstand about TAO is some people ask me, well, okay, well, what does it do? You know, like a lot of these AI projects are scams, this. And I absolutely agree. Over the course of history of crypto, AI coins, for the most part, have been pretty fraudulent. They use like a chat GPT wrapper, and they're just kind of front end facing chat GPT with some crypto name, and then it pumps and dumps. We have seen this over the history of time with a lot of different hyped AI projects as they come to the landscape. But look, I think right now, people, if you dig into what TAO is, it really just makes more sense than anything else. And we've been talking about how this is the #1 AI coin in all of crypto. And I actually just tweeted this before starting this recording, that TAO does make the most sense from an AI perspective. Bittensor is the layer of infrastructure where AI projects can build on and thrive. Look, on the blockchain, you need something like this. It's the hub for AI projects to come through the door and actually start building. And if you don't know, take it from someone else. If you're new to TAO, here's how it works. Every subnet on TAO is basically a startup competing for TAO emissions, better models, higher rankings, and that equals more TAO. It's like venture capital, except the funding is algorithmically allocated by performance. A new era of funding AI innovation is upon us. So forget, oh, they can't build a better AI. They're not trying to build AI. They're building the infrastructure for AI projects to come in on the blockchain and actually thrive. And a lot of these subnets, like, they're coming from different industries. They're really, some of them aren't crypto native when they begin, and they start to see how this function works. And it's spectacular to see some of the stuff that is being built underneath TAO. If you were to look at the CoinGecko trending tokens, let me just pull this up really quick. Here we are. So we can see TAO breaks above 280 as 3 of its ecosystem subnets rank among the top 8 daily gainers. So you can see there is a lot of development and a real, maybe the early stages of a bull run forming on OpenTensor's, I say OpenTensor because that's their foundation, but on the Bittensor network. So you can see here, it's the only way to build and maintain AI that makes economic sense. Oh, and by the way, you can actually come through here and see the tokenomics are the exact same as Bitcoin. They had their halving about 4 months ago or so, and the 21 million tokens, the emissions, there's a mining, like it is very much verbatim the tokenomics of Bitcoin, but this is just the network for AI, which I am incredibly bullish on the format. The tokenomics make sense and they've been proven over time with Bitcoin. And like I said, this is just the chain layer for projects to come build on. Millions of dollars are flowing into Bittensor subnets. If only there were signs. You know, this person was talking about how the TAO flow emission model is going to be huge. You can see here, we'll just enlarge this. Over the month, Templar up 116%, Hippias up 42%, Basilica up 75%, Grail up 58%, Nova up 53%, Bitcast up 48%, which is like a social media layer that I've been seeing on my timeline. Like there is legitimate development going on here. This is not vaporware. And I get this contention a lot. Like, why is this different than other AI projects? Like, this is just the hub. It's like taking a data center of AI and giving it to a plethora of startup companies to come build on. And that's exactly what's happening here on the network. And you can see the network effect. Look at the money flow over 24 hours, even 2.98 million into this subnet here, which is absolutely insane just for a 24-hour time frame on a network like Bittensor, which is very niche. Like a lot of people haven't even onboarded to something like Bittensor at this point in time. And you can see here, TAO is up 82% in the last 30 days. Bittensor subnets are up 105% over the same time period. And 𝗪𝗛 Composite Fund, which provides exposure to more than 100 subnets, is also up 55% versus 28% for TAO alone. So this 𝗪𝗛 is a different asset that actually gives you exposure to all the network underneath Bittensor, which is pretty cool to see. Now, of course, we need to start talking about where's the targets for this. I know a lot of you are probably wondering, okay, I've missed this early run, but like, what's the bigger picture? Let's zoom out a little bit and actually take a look at where could this run. You can see here all-time highs were about 700. So we were in those $700 ranges, and you can see here over the last 20 or the last 12 months, we got up to about $505. But at a $700 all-time high, this thing's only at a $3 billion market cap. And we start to look at other tokens here. You know, Cardano's still at a 10 bill, Chainlink's at 7 billion, Avalanche is at 4.4 billion, Zcash is at 4.2 billion. You can see here Dogecoin's at $17 billion market cap. I don't really know why this couldn't 5x from here. And I'm, maybe that wouldn't be this year. Maybe we make new all-time highs later this year. I actually wouldn't be surprised to see that happen and maybe see this thing trend closer to 350, 400 in the short term, especially if Bitcoin continues its run, which right now it has a lot of momentum. And I think enough people aren't factoring in, what if 60K was the cycle low? It is very possible. So just having to consider that, having exposure to these altcoins, and especially in this time period, I don't know how you can't be trying to scoop up cheap altcoins because the top tier ones are already starting to make moves and they are still absolutely undervalued when we're speaking of like Hyperliquid, Bittensor, TAO, etc. So at a $3 billion market cap, realistically, if this thing could just hit where Dogecoin is, around a $15 billion market cap, that puts this price north of $1,000. And in that same time period, you're going to see some of these other coins grow. So it might not, flip Dogecoin, let's just say. Dogecoin, if we do see a bull run, probably goes to like 30 billion. And then we see something like Bittensor TAO run to 15 bill or so. That's a 5x from here. That'd be a really healthy valuation for the top AI project in crypto. And I think that more people are going to come back into the space when retail gets interest and they're going to say, hey, AI is a huge narrative. Where are the AI projects in crypto and Bittensor, TAO. I'm now mixing all their different names with the foundation and the blockchain, but it just really excites me what's going on with Bittensor, TAO. And I wouldn't be surprised to see new all-time highs this year. And in the long haul, definitely $1,000 plus on something like Bittensor. Other people's price predictions you can see, if Investor Jordan, really good, also another YouTuber I would recommend to follow. If I'm right about this next leg up, we could see Bittensor trading between 2,000 and 3,000 over the next 12 to 18 months. And you guys know on this channel, I don't want to be a moon boy. I actually think that's realistic. I really do. But I'm going to set a target at $1,000. And I think that that's just the baseline target for me. Obviously, anything higher is going to be fantastic if that is to play out. And we see here this account saying TAO with a market cap of XRP would be $8,000, which, yeah, look, if that happens, I mean, we're all giga up if that does play out. So that'd be pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. But for me, I think this year, new all-time highs are definitely in the cards. And then long-term, I think a 4-digit Bittensor makes sense, $1,000 plus. AI is going to continue to grow. AI on chain is going to continue to grow. More of these subnets are going to start coming through with all these metrics. The subnet returns on the 30 days, this top right chart. It's just insane what's unfolding right now on the Bittensor network. So for me, I'm super bullish on what is happening at TAO. And I do truly think we see new all-time highs this year, as well as $1,000 plus in the long term. And before we wrap it up, you can actually trade TAO as well here on Blofin. And right now we are beginning, as of today, $120,000 prize pool competition. So you can join my team down below. I think you can maybe even already have an account. I'm not too sure on that criteria. $120,000 up for grabs. Join Team Hustle down below. Let's get involved. Let's try to win some cash as far as this competition. And look, you can trade from anywhere. No VPN, hundreds and hundreds of pairs, including Bittensor TAO as well. Look, you can trade from anywhere. No jurisdictions are restricted, and you don't have to give any of your information. No name, date of birth, country, does not matter. No KYC, no VPN required. Sign up down below and trade your way to $120,000 in prizes. That's going to do it for today's video. Extremely bullish on what is happening with Bittensor, and just seeing what is unfolding on their subnets is even more exciting, because it's really hard not to bet on just the AI infrastructure layer of crypto, and that is TAO. So guys, like the video down below, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts on TAO. Where do you think this is going long term? And I will see you guys on the next video. As always, trade responsibly, my friends. And right now it's working. So let's stay bullish, my friends.